That was Voya who ends up getting it, and we'll go back over to Rokane, who's already in the zone with a decent amount of positioning, but he is hurting on builds. He needs to find an Elam, and he needs to find it soon.
Yeah, and then you know what? It sucks for Slacks there because he was so close to actually making it on through, but one wall short. Asian Jeff is still in this game, though. TNA's Jeff there finds Trashy. Clay onto Voya, so Clay's still making an appearance as well. Nosh has the high ground, though. It looks like Booga has opted to stay down low and not play for the height here, so it is going to be a matter of whether or not Nosh gets first moving. We'll see here shortly. There it is. It is going to cut back more or less to his side here, and this is really, really good. Nosh is so far down in the standings. This is the first game now that he's actually been able to pick up some substantial points here. He's going to be able to really ride this one out into the end game. He's got the mats, he's got the movement, but he does not have the ammo to be dominant on height.
And you can see DJ now trying to begin this rotation. He has pretty much the front side of the zone. Storm Surge will end up taking the warning there. 7 players will need to go down. But man, we're going up Old Man Mountain. This is a vicious change in verticality. You can see DJ desperately looking for a path, looking for a launch pad to potentially recycle and checking his back. Acorn is the one all the way back on the zone, and he's looking for that launch pad. He will find it, but it's a low pad, so he's going to be forced to go straight to the front side of the zone and then go up. If you see the left-hand side, you got Nosh all the way up on the high ground, but Rokane trying to get in front of that while avoiding the side of the mountain. And he does a great job. He has tons of space, and he should be able to just sit and chill for a bit. The 13 mats are the only thing that should have him stressful. DJ, though, in a very stressful situation on the backside of the zone, and he gets taken out. Wasn't stressful for long because it got resolved. Crunchy ends up picking up Bucky. As you can see, Acorn still on that front side. Jock, though, plenty of space, 30 builds, 1 Elam. We have our top 30, which means Storm Surge is off, and we are going over towards Brutus's old domain there. You can see Jock loses the box-to-box fight, gets picked up there. Will hop on board with Booga, the World Cup winner. Needs to find a refresh as he has only the single mat, and it's not gonna happen. Drops down into the blender, gets picked up. Nosh on the high ground, Tragics, Zlem, and Dubs on the low ground doing everything they can.
Yeah, look at this. Acorn is still up in here trying to hold the mantle here. What can he do right now? So he's trying to move around here. Low on material as well. Barely any builds to work with as he's playing his way into the storm line, but it's Stretch. Stretch who manages to maintain high ground. Stretch who's been here on these big settings before. Rokane goes down to the hands of Cease. Let's not forget Cease was up in that top 15. He's looking to maintain that, maybe do one and leave it a little bit better, but no. Tragics is here to shut that whole story down and bring his way into top 10. And now he's at 62 points and gets a zone favor pull. It's going right back the way it came. This is Stretch's game to ride out, but there's other names in this story too here. The fact that Tragics is still up, Acorn is still up, they are accruing points. They're catching up to Jack. They're leaving them behind, and they're working their way up towards Kanata's points.
And Fatch able to pick up a top 10. And Tragics with 2 Elams and the high ground position. Zone is pulling just a little bit over open space now, so his excess mats could potentially be burned out, but 30 is more than we've seen than a lot of other people's inventories. With that and the exotic chug splash cannon, he should have room to make some plays. He's going to drop down. Jamper picks up Acorn, but then Thatch immediately picks up Jamper to put him into 7th, and then Tragics, another gift with that aim down sights pump, finding all of the pellets. Both Cease and Thatch going down to those gatekeeping shots from Tragics. That'll be his 3rd elimination. Also puts him into the top 5. We'll swing on over to Dubs, who had barely the 4 builds. Goku also falls to Tragics' pump, who's starting to put in work. He drops in Dubs. He's also going to go down. Pump, swap, mat, refresh, everything for him. Top 3 for Tragics as he just absolutely runs up the top of the leaderboard, putting himself into contention, but it's going to be tough to beat Stretch here because you got to go up, and he's just chilling.
Well, this Elam is worth so much for Tragics here. If he can actually find this one or just let it tick over, it's going to be a substantial jump up. I believe a 5-point jump up, not including if he can get to the Victory Royale, which is highly unlikely. Stretch has got all the builds that he needs here, but this 2nd place, very important. Tragics looks up and burns onto Stretch right there. He lands a tag. That's a big tag. It's going to give him a little bit of time to work with here. Pam on the other side, just trying desperately here to work around. Can he get to a launch pad? I think he's trying to open up the distance here. No, he's just looking to buy time, and there's nothing here for him. Pam's out. Okay, Tragics earns a little bit more, and now it's a one-on-one. It should be all but over here as Stretch will find the final tag, and there it is. 3 eliminations for Stretch, 55 points now with the Victory Royale.
And he needed a game there in match number 4 to really put himself back into contention. But honestly, the story was Tragic's in picking up those key pumps. And additionally, Pam going back into the storm early just gifts the extra 3 points over to Tragic's.
Mars sneaks back around, and it was his wall, and the whole time he was paying attention to it. And it was actually Voil who was putting that extra little pressure in and put Kanata down in that weird spot. So now first place is effectively out of the game. Tragic's has a shot to just rocket on up, take that spot. Casker's still in this, Cease is still in this. These are all massive names here now. First place is wide open for the taking.
But only 13 damage above Tragic's going to opt to go early and try and get in front of this rotation, which I agree, because if you look at the map, so many players are behind the pace right now. Miro picks up G2 Jock. Pamso leaves the high ground and ends up coming straight down. Tragic's takes a huge chunk in the back and immediately needs to cover up. 36 players still remaining, so we're one more out from another placement threshold, and there's tons of points still up on the table. Chimp with a great glide to get in front of the zone. Zuni's with the late pad from the high ground could potentially look to challenge backward, who's up on height, boxes him right away. Who gets the conversion on that? Doesn't matter, because we're gonna hop over to Tragic's, who's looking to charge and take over from Kanata's spot. Gets a huge elim onto Avery, but box to box doesn't cover up, and Pamsto takes him out. That's what happens. 1, 2, 3 for this second game in a row. All fall just barely inside the third placement threshold. What does that mean? Players like Rokane, players like Cease, the ones who are able to stay up on their feet, are still able to challenge here. Slacks still able to push through. Narwhal ends up picking up the elim onto Enpen. Naunzi on the backside of the zone with only 7 builds, trying to edit through, but there's a trap on the other side, and the trap was set. No, it wasn't Cease.
No
Cease picks up Scented, and he gets dubs. This is what happens on the backside of the zone with that epic tack. Wall to wall, the veteran is trying to push through and charge up with one more game after this in the second to last game. He's saying, hey, don't forget about me, and right as we talk about it, another veteran, Sentinels, Booga cleans him up. Zuni's still up on the low ground here as we have our top 20, but players are falling, and they're falling fast.
Yeah, don't forget about Pam. Pam's still in this one as well. Take a look, 66 points here. He's on the hunt. He's looking for anyone who's down low, and you can hear the builds coming through. Rep comes in. That's Mars OW. Mars is down. Doesn't let go of the trigger, though. He runs to another one. There goes Bob the Builder, claimed and destroyed. 74 points now. Put him in the top 3. Put Cease up there in the top 5 now as well, because they have all popped off and broken that 70-plus point threshold. Top 10 now is what remains here. Chip still in this one. That's no easy feat to take out there. Big names here remaining, and Zuni's has got the high ground. This is Zuni's game to bring home, but Pam, it's Pam's game to really jump up, maybe even fight for first.
Yeah, but Slacks in the bottom right-hand corner also now cresting 70 points. No player wants to go down before that top 5. They want to make it all the way through, and Dom finds Qua on the backside of the zone, but then immediately Pam finds Chimp. That is a huge elim for the 2-point swing, as well as the 5-point placement threshold. You can see Zuni's up on the high ground. He boxes him 48 as well right after. He only has 3 builds, but he says, that's 2 more than I needed. Takes him away. He's going to drop down and connect. Now completely out of builds. Zuni is 2. He goes down, and the positional bases could be in. Everyone else is in the zone. Everyone else is out of mats. Pam is shooting fish in a literal barrel from the high ground. Can Slacks make the wall-to-wall play? He goes for a pickaxe, but Pam just stays in, shoots down, ties the top elims. 97 points, the victory royale, and I think that's enough to put him into first place. With 1 game left, it's anybody's chance in NAE.
And not only that, I think he broke the elim record as well. Right here, we get to watch it from his perspective. He sits in the zone, finds and steals those away in those finals. Actually, this tournament run is alive. He has an opportunity. He has a realistic shot to do this once again. It was on the brink. It was near over, but no, Kanata takes it all into his own hands. It's just a well-timed edit onto Enpen, who did not see him. Caught him slacking, and now Kanata's back in this game, and it's a long rotate, but we do know he picked up a launch pad. He did pick up a launch pad. That could have been the most crucial elims of the day right now. Will Kanata be able to get across with this pad effectively? If he can get there safely, he's good, but no. Dom needs Surge.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's 2 players near him who are actually hitting on Surge. There's only 4 players in the entire lobby being hit by it. Hoofishy ends up going down to it right there, but the immediate push, that was Okus who's trying to get down. Ozervo is able to then convert onto it. I believe Jamper was the other one who was also being hit, who was forced to end up taking some shields there. Yeah, Jamper, who's ahead of the rotation on Canada, ends up ending up taking that. Agent, every player who is in between him and the zone is too busy right now popping shields and taking Surge to care about him. He has just been gifted such great positioning, but somebody who wasn't gifted great positioning and had to earn for it and has been fighting for it the entire game. Pamsto with a fantastic pad to the middle of the next zone. He doesn't give himself a chance to get priority of full moving, but he's safe.
We have ourselves a finals here, though. Slacks at 85, Kanata at 91, Pam at 99 with a nice small lead here, but it's a lead nonetheless. That gives him room for elims, room for Kanata to have to really outplace him or do something exceptional. We will see how it's going to end up playing out. 10 seconds until the zone ends up popping. Which way is it going to go? As they're all actually split up. Kanata somewhere in the middle. Pam's a little south mid, and so is Slacks. They're so close to one another. They're just in the same kind of sphere of a zone within one's reach. And the zone goes north. They all have to move. Equal distance, by the way. But who can move smarter? Who can play better than the other? Now's going to be the time. Now's that end game to really play out here.
Wait, timeout. Did Slacks pull that zone? I'm trying to follow that white line. I'm pretty sure Slacks is right on the priority side of it. So keep an eye on that bottom right-hand corner. Yeah, he is. Look at that white line. He's right on the edge of zone. Every single player has to go past him, and Kanata is trying to go past. Slacks is going to wait. Slacks doesn't have to go anywhere. He has the longest amount of time, and on top of that, he has the jump pad. However, he is 40 below, and with Storm Surge potentially turning on here in 45 seconds, he needs to at least pull out an AR and start looking for shots. You hear the launch pads. You hear the gliders. Everyone is taking to the sky. Game 6. Top 3 on their feet right now. Pamsto in first. Kanata in second, just 8 points behind. And then Slacks in third, currently sitting 14 points back. Slacks misses his launch pad. Takes a huge pump shot. That happens in the bottom right-hand corner. Keep an eye there. He's the one currently under pressure. Pamsto in the top right is just looking to rotate and get ahead of the zone. Prioritizing positioning as he's done all game. On the left-hand side, you can see Sentin up on the high ground, but the reality is we don't care what's on the wide, we care what's on the right. Pamsto, no builds. Our leader is on no builds. We're staying with him until he gets a refresh or until he goes down. The plays are going to have to be made. Zone is pulling away as well. Keep an eye on it. He wins or loses FNCS All-Star right here with this play. He's fighting through. He has a launch pad, but he doesn't have anywhere he can place it. You have to own that build. He finds Slacks! He finds the third base Slacks on the backside of the zone. That is gross. That's the refresh he needs. No extra shields into the box, but he's down. Where is Casker? Where is Canada? Canada's also down. It's Casker's game to win or lose. He needs to run it out. Monster, everyone has fallen yet again.
This is worth everything right here for Casker. If he can make this end game, he has to break through, but he also has to break free. He needs more elims in order to catch up here. But what a run so far from Pam onto Slacks there to make that exchange. Down goes Chimp. Casker finds another. One step closer. One step closer.
And Zone is pulling back directly on top of him. He's gonna about face. He finds huge shots. 1, 2, 3. Storm's gonna tick over. Did he get the credit? Or did Dom end up cleaning it up? It looks like Dom was the one who stole that away. Just the 2 elims barely could go over. Huge pump shot from Casker onto Crunchy. Can he end up connecting? You see him dropping the excess shotgun. Doesn't want the swap penalty. Gonna pull the 72 hours. The quick dip out in the zone. He cuts back in the top 10. But he's out of builds. Casker's tournament life on the line. We saw Pamsto had over 100. He didn't end up on the wall of Crunchy, but Crunchy replaces the wall. He doesn't have anything. He needs to find the elim. It's all about this fight. Boxed like a fish, but can he do the Muhammad? No, he pushes through, and it's over. Crunchy takes him down. He ends the run. Bucky on 81, but I don't see anybody with the points. Pamsto should walk away as your FNCS All-Star champion. The French-Canadian upsetting everyone else, but it was
down to the wire, and in the final 3 matches where the top 3 fell every single time, the question is, can Dubs close this out, pick up the VR? Edgy versus Dubs, NRG versus FaZe here in the final match, and there's a little bit of a pay bump on the line.
Yes, definitely a big substantial one because there's so much pricing here for the solos, and Dubs should be able to close this out as Edgy has nothing left here, and it's all going to come down to the wire right here, right now. One pump and FaZe Dubs walks away with the final Game 6 victory. But the story is Pam, Kanata, head-to-head against Slacks as well for the race for the $75,000 prizing there, Sundown. And what a game we watched unfold.
And it was so close, you could tell everyone who was towards the top was in just hold on.
This in Season 6, and to see him now coming in first place in solos, not only is that an incredible achievement in solos as it stands against this, it will only propel him forward and into a brighter future as well. But